Good morning again.
There we go.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Davis. My name is Karen Urbano. I'm a member of your Board of Trustees. Each week we come together as a community, adding our own story to the rich tapestry of stories that have unfolded on this land. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of the Potwin people. I see you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah? I see some heads shaking here. Yeah, I guess so, yeah. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of the Potwin people, including the Yochudi-Hiwinton Nation today. The Potwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many years. It's been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be gathered here today on their traditional lands. Let us carry this awareness of connection into our time together. This morning's worship team is made up of pianist Jacob Lane, collaborative pianist, worship associate Tamara Range, and our minister, Reverend Angeline C. Jackson. There are listening devices located in the rear of the sanctuary if you'd like more amplification during today's service. A quick announcement about the Memorial Day potluck and campout. This evening and tomorrow, come enjoy an evening of food, fun, and community at our annual Memorial Day potluck and campout. We'll share a meal later this evening. Then those who like to are welcome to pitch a tent and spend the night on the UUCD grounds. Join us for Connection Under the Stars and a fun Monday morning together. In the social hall, there'll be a table, Allison Pease and one other person. We'll have some information about the upcoming June 14th Yin dinner. That's YOLO Interfaith Immigration Network. For our online community, if this is your first time here or you're not yet connected to our newsletter, please look for a message from our online welcome host or send a message to the person with welcome in their name. We come together in many ways this morning. Let's take a moment to connect to our online congregation. I can only see you here. I can't see them. If this is your first time here in person, let's take I'm sorry. I skipped a line. If this is your first time here in person, we welcome you. We hope you will stop by the welcome table so we can get to know you and get connected. Let's take a minute now to say hello to each other. A minute. Wait a minute. This is a brief hello. You always jump the gun. Okay, settle down.
Good job.
However you're joining us this morning, please leave the door open behind you, inviting others to enter too.
Your turn.
We light this chalice with an open heart. We light this chalice with resolve. We light this chalice with tears still fresh on our cheeks. We light this chalice in hope, a tiny flame we nurture. We light this chalice with reverence for this place, for these people, for this time. We light this chalice with all our souls longing to be who we are, to be who we will become, to be ourselves. We light this chalice in self-love, in giving love, in holy love.
And now we'll sing our opening hymn, Woyaya, number 1020. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able. Shall I sing? That's what we do. Good morning. I have two things before we do joys and sorrows. First thing is, so that I don't have to answer this question, how many folks are here today? 100 and sometimes. I missed my step going down the stairs. Pretty much the distance between the landing and the final step, I forgot there was one in the middle at home. And so I sprained my foot very badly. It's been 3 weeks. Hopefully by next week, I won't need this. Question answered? I love you all. I have missed you. The second thing, before we begin our ritual of joys and sorrows, will you join me in remembering those who have given their lives in the armed services of this country? With this poem by Archibald MacLeish. The young dead soldiers do not speak. Nevertheless, they are heard in the still houses. Who has not heard them? They have a silence that speaks for them at night and when the clock counts. They say, we are young. We have died. Remember us. They say, we have done what we could, but until it is finished, it is not done. They say, we have given our lives, but until it is finished, no one can know what our lives gave. They say, our debts are not ours, they are yours. They will mean what you make them. They say, whether our lives and our debts were for peace and a new hope, or for nothing, we cannot say. It is you who must say this. They say, we leave you our debts, give them their meaning. We were young, they say. We have died. Remember us. Our time of joys and sorrows. I am going to use a ritual that was written by Reverend Jennifer Grayson, and it's called We Matter. In our community, we make time each week to share pieces of our lives with one another. We do this because each person in this community has value. Each person's experience matters. We share our sorrows with one another today, knowing that sorrow comes into each person's life, knowing that together we offer comfort. I invite you to name whatever sorrows are on your heart, your spirit today.
Cuts to climate change programs. The genocide in Gaza. The drone attacks.
This week, we also lost a very prominent UU musician, Amanda Thomas. But it's not just sorrows, we also have joys. We also share our joys with one another, knowing too that joy comes into all our lives, knowing that together our voices can rise in a chorus of celebration. I invite you to name those joys right now.
Sophie's graduation. New fruits and vegetables. Dancers coming to our summer camp. My granddaughter locomoted by rolling.
Today is the 200th anniversary of the American Unitarian Association. Not everything, joy or sorrow, can be shared openly in community. Some must be shared eye to eye or held in the heart. We further recognize that some do not have voices with which to speak the depth of their pain or the height of their celebration. We make space each week for silent candlelighting, knowing the life and experience of every person matters, and together our lights shine brighter.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry. Whew. That's a bad way to start off. Let me see if I can get this voice together here just a second. Just last weekend, my wife Shannon and I were invited to speak on behalf of Forrest. And I'm going to start by sharing Shannon's words. As I ponder this momentous occasion of the UU bridging ceremony for Paz-Eschbach, I think about all the things I like about Forrest. I started to get to know her when she popped into the kitchen on a Sunday and asked if there was anything she could do to help. There's always something to do in a kitchen that serves this many people, and the answer was a resounding yes. And then she came back, and then she came back again. And whereas today's service isn't about kindergarten, I'm thinking of the now famous writing about all I need to know in life I learned in kindergarten. Be nice, share, help out. There are certain remarkable people in my life who come to mind when I hear these words, and now one of them is Forrest. These are part of our UU faith, our principles, our values. Be nice, share, help out. For being a kind and thoughtful team player, for showing up over and over to participate, and for being a kind and generous person, I truly appreciate Forrest. I'm encouraged about her shift into an adult phase of life, one where whichever paths are chosen, nurturing community with kindness, generosity, and showing up along the way towards a good and meaningful life. Blessings on Forrest and all the Eschbachs as Forrest turns this page toward new opportunities, new relationships, new choices. And now, from me. Today we honor Forrest Paz-Eschbach, Forrest of my heart. You have chosen for your real name one of my favorite churches. Let me be outside in the forest, by the ocean, paddling a canoe down a tributary of the Mississippi, or backpacking the Pacific Crest Trail, every time. For it is in those places where I feel the spirit of life, that spark of the divine, more strongly than in any grand cathedral or modest country church. What a rich name you have. The serenity of the forest is honored in some societies as a place between the real and the spirit world. For many, I think they would say it's a place of peace, pause, a dream shared by all humanity, all communities, and sadly, all too hard to find for many. Standing tall within a forest full of ash trees, esh, resting by a babbling brook, Bach. Dear, kind, beautiful you, this is how I will always see you. At home in nature, finding your places of peace. Congratulations on your bridging today. You've already crossed so many bridges, crossing into this world of air and light from your mother's watery womb, taking your first tentative steps, heading off to kindergarten, then all those school bridges we cross into junior high and high school. Maybe your biggest bridge yet crossed just earlier this year, as far as we know. Choosing a new name, choosing to honor your true self, coming out as a young woman. How brave you are. I am so honored that you felt safe enough to share that with Seanain and me, and that you trusted us to speak on your behalf to the congregation today. How lucky and enriched we all are by you, by this community within our church. You have a ready group of people like you here, willing and able to guide and emulate. Joe, Jules, Tran, Koba, Val, others. Blessings be with you, my friend, my heart. May your road be long and filled with lots of visits to the forest, the trees, and the brooks. When it gets bumpy, don't hesitate to call on your family here at UUCD. We will be honored and grateful to do what we can, whenever we can, to help smooth your path.
Good morning. Today we celebrate the growth and journey of our children and youth as they move up into new groups in the Religious Exploration Program. Each step represents new opportunities for connection, leadership, and spiritual exploration. So they're not all here. They're probably waiting for the barbecue tonight and the camp out. But moving from Explorers to Chalice Council, we recognize Bodie McFarlane, Vidal Torres, Elliot Hayter-Winnett, and Gabriel Marquez.
Stepping up from Chalice Council to Mugs, we recognize Genevieve Moore, Quinn McFarlane, Angelita Torres, Mateo Belvoir, and William Fu. And moving from Mugs into Unique, we recognize Jonathan Silkey. And a special shout out to our RE teacher, Grace Range, who graduated from Sac State last weekend. Congratulations on this amazing milestone. Let us cheer them on with love and gratitude as they continue their UU journey together.
While we're not singing our kids out, I do think it's still appropriate to sing the children's blessing because we're moving from one stage to the next. Check.
Finding out if I have company or not. All right, we are Tiffany and Paz-Eschbach and Soren. We're Forrest's parents and brother. Back before I existed, or the first 5.5 years of Forrest's life, Mark and Forrest started attending the Unitarian Universalist Community Church in Elk Grove when Forrest was 4. Then after moving to Davis full-time, followed by our family taking a new shape with me in the picture, we started coming here to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Davis in 2013, where Forrest settled into the Bridge House. Since then, they've made their way through Explorers and Chalice Council, then Mugs, and the first half of OWL before the world turned upside down. The rest of Mugs and all of COA were online. When we came back in person, it brought them to the combined middle and high school youth group. And you've probably seen them in the kitchen crew, at the grounds work parties, or tending the fire at the Memorial Day camp out. But whenever I run into an adult they've crossed paths with, I hear how helpful and kind and hardworking they are. They just show up and say, "What needs to be done?" Then it gets done, is a quote I heard this week. Forrest, a couple of years ago, concluded their coming of age program by sharing with the congregation that they didn't know yet all that they believe. And I'm here to tell you, Forrest, that anyone that says they have figured it all out is either lying or incredibly naive. Because without that uncertainty, at least some amount of uncertainty, we'd all lose much of why we're here in this space to begin with. But the other big reason we're here is this community. And you need to know that this community is yours with no uncertainty, and it will continue to be yours as long as you need us, no matter where your path takes you. We love you, we are proud of everything that has brought you to this point today, and can't wait to see the communities you build as you step forward on your adult path.
When I first came to this church 20 years ago, I was looking for a spiritual foundation for my daughter Grace, who at that time was only 4 years old. I'd been exposed to many different spiritual journeys, and I wanted so much for her to have the same experience and to make choices that were her own about what she believed. It was very early in our attendance here that I first saw a bridging ceremony, and I knew instantly I wanted that for her someday. I spent the first 3 years of my church life in the Bridge House. Where else to better get to know your new faith? I saw that the children were indeed taught all faith traditions, and in fact, one of those years was spent teaching a new faith tradition every month. I loved it. The children loved asking questions, and I loved helping them find the answers. The children were so incredibly smart and curious. Flash forward to Grace going to OWL. That was so interesting. Show of hands, which parents here have had kids that went through OWL? So you all know. The car rides home were either deathly silent or slightly awkward. But Grace learned so much about respect for her partner and most of all, respect for herself. She was even the one who helped me get April into OWL by telling her that it might be uncomfortable now, but trust me, you're going to take this information with you for the rest of your life. And COA, coming of age. One of my proudest moments was Grace and Billy standing here in front of you, telling the congregation that what they believed in and what they stood for. And in there too, during the same time, Grace, along with several other junior high girls, got together with Grace's Girl Scout troop, and they did a showing of a movie called Girl Rising, which was about young girls trying to get their education throughout the world. And they raised over $1,000 to donate to the Miramar Foundation, hopefully to help build a school there too. So you see, this faith and this church makes leaders of our children. We encourage them to be curious when they are very young. We foster strength and confidence for them to get in front of the entire congregation and say what they stand for when they are only 13 years old. And now we are standing with Forrest as they move to their new next phase of life. No matter what it is, Forrest, we will always be here for you. We will always be here for our children, supporting you, encouraging you, and caring for you. We will now sing our hymn of the month, I Seek the Spirit of a Child.
Forrest, it's your turn.
Thank you all for all the such kind words. I am very happy to have been here and continue to have gone here. I hope I can continue to help you guys in any way that's needed. Thank you.
It takes so much more time to move. All right. Yes, stay close. Thank you. Unitarian Universalists recognize that the transition from youth to young adulthood is a moment to be celebrated, a process to be supported, and requires a lifelong commitment from all of us. We use the term bridging to refer both to the ritual used to honor this transition and the process of leaving youth community and finding one's place in young adult community. Forrest, I share this blessing with you. It was written by Reverend Dr. Rita Capezzi. This milestone of your life. No matter how far you travel, no matter if you don't travel at all, You are on the cusp of a new life. People will have expectations of you. People you love will have expectations of you, both spoken and unspoken. But you already know that. So may you know too that you carry within you a spark of the universe creating itself. That spark connects you to all that is, to all that was, and all that will ever be. That spark is always there in you, always there, bringing you into being. Always a force of creativity and possibility, especially when the expectations of others overwhelm or disappoint you. When you doubt yourself or feel afraid, when you fail, as we all do at times, remember that spark always there, sustaining and revitalizing you, like the love you find here. We are always a home for you. Your community is always here for you. Blessings upon you and upon this milestone of your life. I invite you to stand in the middle, right here, and then family, mom and dad and Soren, Tiffany and Mark and Soren. And then you can hug, you can lay hands, you can, however you want to create that space of holding of Forrest. In some tradition, in our UU traditions, we love to lay hands. We do a laying of hands. But today I'm going to invite you to just stretch your hands out. Repeat after me. We bless you. We bless you. We love you. We love you. May your life unfold with joy. May your life unfold with joy. Amen, and blessed be. All right. At this, you don't move yet. At this congregation, you should know this is my first bridging service ceremony, so I'm very honored to be a part of this. At this congregation, when you are very young, you are given a rose without thorns, symbolizing your protection from the wounds and hurts that are part of living and growing in your childhood. When you reach adulthood, we bless you with 2 new items. The first being gloves. Turn it around, turn to, there we go. Gloves that represent the love of this community, the values of this faith, the people who have cared for you and nurtured you, and the lessons you will take with you as you embark on this new phase of life. You also receive another rose. I'll wait. You want to put, I mean, it's up to you. It's Unitarian Universalism. Come on. It's yours, however you want to do it. But it is protected, so it's fine. You also receive another rose. This one has the thorns, symbolizing the challenges and hurts of life that are still to come. But that's why we give you gloves, to represent our support for you in adulthood. And I understand that there are some other gifts that Sophia, am I right? Sophia will present.
So we also have gifts from the congregation to present to you, Forrest. One being the first, a journal. To continue exploration of your values and beliefs. We also have a shirt, the chalice. And finally, we have a special gift from a congregant. We have an image of it. It is yet to be made. It's a custom hand-thrown ceramic chalice from a local artisan, Jen Nachmanoff, also Jan Bauer's daughter. So.
One last part. This is the fun part. So anybody that's been a mentor or a family member or a friend to Forrest, can you please come up here and stand on this side of the stage? Okay. You all are going to make up a bridge. Anybody that is considered a young person, not yet bridged. Anybody who is not yet bridged, so that would be you, honey, and any other littles that might be around, or high school students or MUD students.
Under 18, correct?
Anybody under 18, come on up here. I need your help. Come on up. Need your help. You guys will also be on this side of the stage. Come over here on the side. There you go. Anybody that identifies as a young adult, 20s, 30s-ish, young adult folks, come on, I need your help. Come on, young adults. All young adults.
I will join you.
Okay? You all will be, you are not a young adult.
Young
All right. So family, friends, mentors, please come in the center and create a bridge for us. Forrest. Okay, Forrest, over here. With the littles. Hold on.
Carry all your new stuff. You go through a tunnel that's too short for you.
Down. Sorry. All right, young adults. Get ready to accept.
Hold on. Thank you, everyone.
Once more for the short person. It's now time for our offering. Being the fourth Sunday, the offering recipient today is a therapeutic riding and off-track rehabilitation, better known as Trotter. Debbie Shoup and Sophia Belvoir will share some more about the organization as the baskets are passed, and then some music.
Thank you for having us today. My name is Debbie Shoup. I'm a mom and UUCD member, and I'm happy to be up here again. That's super nice. With me are my fellow UUCD members, Sophia and Mateo Belvoir. And we're here to represent this month's offering recipient, Trotter. And we're going to tell you a little bit about Trotter, and Sophia's going to talk a little bit, and I will tell you some very short stories. So Trotter is a very nearby nonprofit ranch that provides horseback riding and therapy for children and adults with a special emphasis on at-risk youth in our local community. We also rescue pigs, which we're going to talk about today, horses, and other animals, and we combine the needs of the students and of the animals into therapeutic programming. So I will pass the mic over to Sophia, if you would have anything you'd like to say.
Sure. So the first time I went to Trotter was actually during the pandemic, and it was related to a UU Circle of Life, or Web of Life, what were we calling it? It was a series activity. And when there, I got to know they have lots of animals there, not just horses, like Debbie was mentioning. And there was a tiny little pig named Shadow that was so tiny you could control with a leash, and I got to walk him around with a leash. And now he's a big potbelly pig, right? And But yeah, Trotter is an amazing place. They help a lot of animals and a lot of people there. And I've also been able to volunteer there as a sidewalker, and that's been really rewarding just to be able to be around horses and people experiencing the joy of being around horses. So thank you for your support of Trotter.
That was great. Yeah, we did the 7 UU principles that year, which was pretty cool. So my story for you today is about 3 little pigs that aren't so little anymore. The first little pig is Delilah. Delilah, she's there with Whisper. Delilah came to Trotter from San Francisco, where she lived on the streets and is blind. She is super smart and loves snacks, belly rubs, and much to my very great surprise, loves foot massages. I did not know that pigs like that. Our second little pig that Sophia was talking about is Shadow. And you can kind of see one of those pictures when he was itty bitty and Sophia used to walk him around on the leash. It was so cute. And he used to sit on people's laps, and he became Delilah's seeing eye pig. On any given day, you could see Shadow, which is what with the two of them together, leading her over the grass and through the arenas. And they're quite smart, and he knows how to do tricks, like when he's sitting with that dog, he's sitting with all the dogs to get a little treat. Our third little pig, they're quite big now, but is Cupcake. And Cupcake is dear to many of our hearts at Trotter and UUCD. She has since passed away, but she lived a very loved, happy life at Trotter. She sang to us. She used to actually sing. It was very cute, and we sang carols to her. All 3 are very sweet souls who touched many lives, and in the words of Charlotte's Web, how very special are we for just a moment to be part of life's eternal rhyme. Thank you again for hosting Trotter as an offering recipient. We are so very grateful for the impact that you make for both the animals and the students at the ranch. You good?
You will see the slides showing how many ways you can contribute, right? There it is. I won't read it. You can figure it out. Thank you. Thank you to all for these gifts. Trotter thanks you also.
Joan's going to be extinguishing the chalices for us with these words. We extinguish the candles of sorrow and joy. May our sorrows be lessened by our time together, and our joys, of course, shine brighter in the week ahead. We extinguish the chalice. Spirit of life, show us the patterns. Allow us to notice the pictures, the paths, the ways forward. Remind us that the wrong piece, once placed, can still be changed. And help us to sit in the sorting, piece by piece, as you weave through the puzzle of life. Please rise as you are willing and able to sing our closing hymn, This Little Light of Mine.
There's another verse that I know growing up in Sunday school that said, hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. I don't feel like singing it today for you. Today's benediction, I think, is fitting. It was written by Emily Richards, a DRE, and it's called May You Be Changed. May you leave this time together changed. May the promises you have made to yourself about who you want to be feel closer to the reality of who you are right now. May you share that feeling of transformation wherever you go. May it spread into every word, deed, thought, and interaction until we are all changed, transformed, and transforming lives together, becoming our better selves. And I want to encourage you to take from today's service, this bridging ceremony. It's such a unique and special thing that is Unitarian Universalism. And Tamara and I were talking about this, and I've read it. There's a book I'm reading that talks about how there's not a lot of rituals in the world that marks that transition from, oh, you finished high school? Okay, bye. Adulthood. You know, and we have that space and we have that opportunity to provide that community and to recognize our loved ones as they move into that space. And so I hope you all take from, this is not just a service for Forrest. This is all about Forrest, but it's not just about Forrest. It's also about us, how we show up in the world, what our faith means, what our values mean, and how we support our kids and how we support them as they transition into adulthood. So before, Jacob, you play your postlude, can we sing This Little Light of Mine again? Just the first verse? And clap? Yeah. Maybe? Yeah? And then Jacob will play the postlude. This I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Thank you. Thank you. Please join us in